A very warm welcome to our chief guest, Professor Raj Srinivasan, and our own Dr. Uma Maheshwari. She's an entrepreneur, and Dr. Karthikeyan, Dr. Rajan Babu, faculty, my colleagues, my friends, and dear students. When the younger Sir C.V. Raman sir was traveling on a ship, he saw the ocean and he wondered why it is blue. Right? We all know that. Now, when you and I see the water, some of us question, why is it blue? And is it just reflecting the sky? Or it doesn't seem that way, right? When the sky is gray too, the water is deep blue in color. But some of us ask that question. Some of us are curious in nature and ask that question. And some of us just think, it's just the way things are. But that curiosity is the one that leads to great discoveries. And what follows curiosity? Follow through, experimenting, perseverance. Perseverance is the greatest quality of scientists. Things don't happen in a day. You have to try, reason, experiment, reason, try, and to discover truth. So curiosity, innovation, application-oriented thinking, these are the necessary characteristics of a good scientist and good practitioner in making. So the National Science Day is a great day for us to remember the importance of science in shaping humanity and also to salute Sir C.V. Raman for bringing us the first Nobel Prize. So when I look around, I see a lot of women amongst you, and I'm so proud of that because, I always think that whoever you credit wonders to, whoever you credit advancement or freedom to, without half the population, we couldn't have done it, right? Yes? So the women in the forefront or behind the scenes, but women are equal partners. They are, teamwork is what gets us greatness. I think being role models to little children is very important if we want India to become greater in the upcoming decades. And I think all of you are already empowered because you are in science. The fact that you're here today speaks that you're in science. How do you motivate your young ones? Some of you may have children, some of you may be having little sisters at home, some of you may be having friends, or some of you may have crossed some unfortunate girl children who do not have role models in their lives. So, as we celebrate women in science, I ask you to be those role models to young girls and boys too, everybody's a human being. But since we are talking about women in science, I urge you to be there for young kids. And talk about, there are a lot of cartoon characters, Superman, Supergirl, whatnot, right? But what I encourage you to do is talk more about scientists. And it doesn't mean that you have to explain the nitty-gritties behind the discovery. You can talk about them in simple terms. Talk about Marie Curie, talk about Ada Lovelace, talk about Florence Nightingale, or talk about our own women, Gangadeep Kang, or Kalpana Chawla, or women within these four walls, right? Late Dr. Kuntala Jayaraman. And Dr. Vijayalakshmi, Dr. Geeta Manivasagam, Dr. Nilpula Grace, and so many of our wonderful women, and the list goes on. And professors can tell you about the statistics, but know that VIT is one of the toppers in publications. We contribute to research like no other, or next only to IISc. So in that contribution, there's a very significant amount by the women faculty, women researchers of this institution. And I salute them all today. And, actually my little one, I have a 6-year-old. She's a late issue, by the way, in case you're wondering what is this grandma doing with a 6-year-old. But my little girl, 6-year-old, I've exposed her to a lot of scientists as she's growing up. And I also make it a point to tell her stories about great women. So I preach. I not just preach, but I practice what I preach. So when I do that, she actually, she has met many lovely women of this institution. She in fact said, why isn't there a book of Dr. Vijayalakshmi, Dr. Geeta Manivasagam? And she has actually asked me that, and she started writing one. So I think when she's actually able to do better writing, I think she will write about the women of this university. And I'm looking forward to that. And on this note of celebrating women in science, I want to welcome all of the 11 institutions that are participating today in various competitions, ideathons, quiz competitions, and so on. Have fun doing it. I know every scientist that I've met has always taken joy in studies, in little discoveries, in experimenting. So fuel that characteristic in yourselves, and nurture that curiosity, that experimenting, and that innovation, and you'll go places, and you will do a huge contribution to the upcoming future. Thank you all. Have a nice day.